A warm welcome to TBC News, our top stories. Samia awarded as Tanzania's health sector excels. Tanzania, Italy ties, what lies ahead? Good evening, I am Teddy Mparinyanga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel TBC Online and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and X pages at TBC Online. President Samia Suluhu Hassan says due to various strategic interventions, maternal mortality ratio in the country has declined by 80% and under 5 mortality has declined from 63 to 43% per 1,000 deaths. Further adds that life expectancy in the country has also increased from 51.5 years to 66 years. And over the next 25 years, the government aims to raise life expectancy up to 75 years. Speaking immediately after accepting the Global Goalkeepers Award given by the Gates Foundation in Dar es Salaam, President Samia says the award that has been bestowed upon her is a recognition of collective leadership and commitment of the Tanzanian people who work tirelessly to improve the livelihood of women, children, and families. Faida Ngaga attended the occasion and has prepared the following report.
Mheshimiwa Rais, kama
Honorable President, the previous speakers have noted the area. We are gathered here to celebrate one among many of your achievements, and in a special way to recognize your leadership, which focuses on improving healthcare services and people's livelihood.
In a world where the health of mothers and children often determines the future of a nation, one leader's efforts are making a transformative impact. And the Gates Foundation recognizes this impact by awarding President Samia Suluhu Hassan the Global Goalkeepers Award. Tanzania has made significant strides in healthcare, driven by strategic investments and innovative programs that have significantly improved maternal and child survival rates.
In 2015, when many countries, along with Tanzania, signed up for the Sustainable Development Goals, Tanzania also committed to the health and well-being of all its citizens. And it's one of the countries that is actually on track to achieve those goals.
Your Excellency, President, today the Gates Foundation has bestowed upon you this prestigious Goalkeepers Award as a testament to the tireless efforts and unwavering commitment to advancing healthcare, promoting Tanzanian developments, and ensuring healthier and more prosperous Tanzania for all.
We've heard of the tremendous progress that has been made in Tanzania over the past several years. We understand also the path that lies ahead, the opportunity to bring additional innovations, improvements in the community, connections across the health system to continue this pace of achievement.
These transformative gains are a testament to Tanzania's comprehensive approach to maternal, newborn, and child health, supported by groundbreaking initiatives such as expanding access to healthcare, innovative solutions like M-Mama, and combating malnutrition.
Reducing maternal, newborn, child, and adolescent mortality and improving nutrition has been at the core of our national development agenda. As a head of state, who also happens to be a mother, investment in maternal health is something that is very dear to me. This is why upon assuming this high office, I pledge that in addition to investing in health facilities and staff, we would prioritize maternal and child health. Since 2021, we have undertaken various measures to improve reproductive, maternal, newborn, child, and adolescent health, as well as nutrition. it is encouraging to note that due to various strategic interventions, maternal mortality ratio has declined, as it has been said here, but also under 5 mortality has declined as well.
President Samia Suluhu Hassan further adds that this progress is a result of collective action and partnership, and Tanzania will continue to work with civil society organizations and other international organizations such as the Gates Foundation in creating a healthier society for all. Tanzania's achievements in antenatal care and institutional birth have further solidified its progress. The widespread provision of skilled care during pregnancy and delivery has positioned Tanzania as a global leader in advancing maternal well-being. Faitha Ngaga, TBC News.
Tanzania-Italy Trade Cooperation is expected to gain new impetus as the 4th Tanzania-Italy Investment Forum is set to be held later this month in Dar es Salaam and later in Zanzibar, with potentials ranging from manufacturing, tourism, machinery, pharmaceuticals and automotive industries. Tanzania and Italy can benefit more from the current Tanzania-Italy ties. To explore these potentials, we are joined live with the Ambassador of Italy to Tanzania, Giuseppe Coppola. Hello, Ambassador.
Good evening.
Buonasera.
Buonasera, good evening.
Okay, heading to the first question. What is the current state of Italy's investment in Tanzania?
Actually, we have some. Thank you very much for having me here tonight. We have some very interesting investments in Tanzania. Of course, the main sector for investments is tourism, and this sector has been leading investments actually in the last 30 years, especially in Zanzibar. Actually, Italy contributed a lot to launching Zanzibar as a renowned tourist destination worldwide. So in the last 30 years, we've been investing a lot in Zanzibar. Of course, we also have some very interesting investments in other sectors, such as agro-industry, but also in renewable energy also. One of the recent, it's actually a kind of investment, but it's also considered in a different way. It's the Italian integrated energy company, Eni, formerly known as AGIP, that actually has come back to Tanzania with a big investment for clean cooking, actually, in 3 regions of Tanzania. And actually, they're planning also to expand that in other sectors. So we also have some interesting investments in services, in digitalization and transport, and of course, construction. So I would say that these are the main areas in which we concentrate currently.
Okay, and how do you plan to multiply your investments in Tanzania, and which sectors do you think are of particular interest to you?
Okay, of course, the Italian embassy and in general the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs with the Italian Trade Agency are very, very much committed to work with Tanzanian counterparts to promote investments and to strengthen economic and commercial ties with Tanzania. There is a huge potential. Actually, one of the objectives, actually the main objective of the next Tanzania-Italy Business Forum is exactly to first of all, let Italian investors and Italian companies in Italy know about the potentialities that are in Tanzania in many sectors. So the reason why we're organizing this business forum is really to have these people to Tanzania and to let them understand exactly what the situation is in the country, to let them see how the country is more and more open and more conducive for investments. In order to explore many other possibilities in different sectors. Of course, we do this, as I said, with the Italian Trade Agency, which is really as its specific mandate of promoting trade and investments. But of course, we have to do that with the relevant Tanzanian authorities. So the Tanzania Investment Center, of course, we've been working closely with them, and also ZIPA in Zanzibar. Yes. And other public entities and both ministries and other administration in Tanzania who actually are mandated for that purpose.
Okay, and on to that, you said one of the objectives of the Tanzania and Italy Investment Forum is to ensure that we get to know the potential investment areas. So what do you think are the potential investment and business areas that both Tanzania and Italy have not yet been exploited enough?
Actually, there is I think there is a huge potential. Many things are being done, and many things actually are very successfully being carried out. But there is a huge potential, for example, in the agro-industry sector. You know, Tanzania has a huge amount of natural resources and arable land, and a huge wealth of resources from agriculture, but of course with a large population, also young population, also needing jobs, whereas we have quite a good experience and tradition in modern agriculture and in mechanizing agriculture. So I think that we can actually work with Tanzania in order to modernize the agriculture, and also to make sure that the value chain and the added value stays in Tanzania with this collaboration. Another sector I think that is very, very interesting is renewable energy. Renewable energy, Italy has also in this sector a lot of skills and technology and expertise, and we can also share this experience. Another quite strategic sector, I was thinking about also the award to Her Excellency President Samia in the health sector. It's everything that has to do with the health sector and pharmaceutical. We have in Italy an important pharmaceutical industry, and we produce a lot of health machinery, and that can also contribute to modernizing and strengthening also the sector. But there are many, many sectors. I would also, the list can be long. Another sector in which Italy actually is very good is infrastructures. You know, we've been building roads and bridges and tunnels since the Roman times, so it's more than 2,000 years, and we're actually very good at it still now, with very modern technology and quality infrastructure. And so I think that we already built some infrastructures in the past decades in Tanzania, but I think we can contribute even more to build infrastructures, modern infrastructure and sustainable infrastructures in the country.
Okay, I think it's really good to understand those potential areas that we can maybe invest in the future. Yeah. With our focus on the current Tanzania-Italy Investment Forum, what difference did the last Tanzania Investment Forum make?
Yes, I think that investment forums are always useful because they draw the attention, and they make people come together and know each other, and they promote context that can be very fruitful then in the future. Sometimes a business forum doesn't have a result after 2 days, but it can have results after 2 years. So we underline that this is the 4th business forum, because the first was held in 2020, and actually it was organized in close collaboration. Actually, it was promoted by the former ambassador of Tanzania in Rome, His Excellency Minister Kombo, who did a great job in the years he's been working as the ambassador of Tanzania in Italy, especially also in promoting economic ties. So he launched this first business forum in Rome in 2020, in close collaboration, of course, with the embassy here and with the different institutions in Italy. And after 4 years, we've seen that this initiative has been building on and is being increasing. It's not always understandable immediately what the results are, but of course, in 2022, when we had the first Italy-Tanzania Business Forum in Tanzania, it was a huge opportunity to bring together all the companies, and so both the private sector and the public sector, public institutions, were actually working in these sectors. And it's a great opportunity in a couple of days to have really kind of brainstorming session, and also promote business-to-business contacts, so that, as I said, the Italian companies can explore and can know more the potentialities of Tanzania, but at the same time, Tanzanian companies can match and can meet Italian companies interested in investing here. And there, again, I underline the role of the public institutions to accompany this process, to facilitate this process, with the common objective of promoting the private sector, supporting the private sector, and creating the most conducive environment for the private sector to work and to promote and to produce wealth, and last but not least, to produce job opportunities for the population.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ambassador. I think we've come to our last question. But maybe just to wind up and sum up, how will the 4th Tanzania Investment Forum change the Tanzania-Italy economic dynamics, just in a nutshell?
I think that it will be a good boost. It's really what we want to give. It's a good boost. I've been here for 7 months. I think it's always good to have a business forum at the beginning of your mandate. So really hope that with the large number of Italian companies, large number of Italian entities who are here, also taking advantage of the fact that Tanzania has been included in the Piano Mattei, which is the big Italian plan for African partners. And this has been included just a few months ago, as Prime Minister Meloni communicated to Her Excellency President Samia. I think this is really a very timely event and timely appointment because there are a lot of people working together towards this goal. So I would really encourage all Tanzanian companies and enterprises willing to explore possibilities of doing business with Italian partners to join us next week, as you said, on the 11th and 12th of February at the Julius Nyerere International Conference Center.
Okay. Grazie mille. Thank you so much.
Asante sana. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks. And the Public-Private Partnership Center, PPPC, Executive Director David Kafulila says private-to-private partnership in the energy sector is imperative if the continent is to achieve the Dar es Salaam Energy Declaration ambitions. Speaking to TBC News, the Executive Director insists Africa should not rely on taxation and borrowing to attain its plan of reaching 300 million people with energy services. Instead, should prioritize private-to-private partnership.
When we are discussing issues around global development, energy sector is at the center. And so when we are discussing the 300 mission, the mission which is intending to make sure all the governments in Africa make electricity accessible to more than 300 million households, it means a lot in terms of investment. And this investment cannot be afforded by borrowing and taxations. I mean, you cannot tax and borrow to afford this huge ambition. So it is imperative to engage private sector in this context to make sure that we achieve the long-term future in terms of energy generation and energy transmission and distribution.
Furthermore, Kafulila reiterates Tanzania's commitment to create legal and policy frameworks, attracting more potential investors year after year.
Very competitive. And that's why, since the enactment of this framework, amendment of this framework in 2023, there is high appetite from investors to invest in Tanzania, not only in energy, but in different sectors. Why? Because we have the investors-friendly framework which accommodates interests of investor, interests of financial, interests of other actors around, including civil society.
Dar es Salaam Energy Declaration, reached by the Africa heads of state and government during the Africa Energy Summit, aims at providing access to electricity for 300 million people in Africa by 2030. And Public-Private Partnership Center plays a critical role to reach the goal. As the world observes Cancer Day, dedicated to reducing the burden of cancer-related illness and deaths, Ocean Road Cancer Institute in Dar es Salaam has marked the day with a marathon, aiming at raising awareness and bringing the community together in the fight against the disease. Speaking to TBC News, Dr. Lydia Chiguma, a public health specialist at ORCI, reveals that the number of cancer patients in Tanzania has surged to 40,000 per year, with 16,000 succumbing to disease annually, emphasizing the urgent need for early detection, treatment access, and public education to combat the rising cases.
Our body is built up by multiple cells that build up into tissues and eventually into organs. And that's when we see eyes and skin. These are organs that come from the buildup of cells. So these cells under normal circumstances, they normally follow a particular way in their growth and multiplication. So what happens in cancer? Cancer is a disease where we have abnormal growth and multiplication of these cells due to various causes depending on the type of cancer that a person gets. According to the Ministry of Health of Tanzania, it shared that we have almost 40,000 new patients each year in our country, and we also have 16,000 deaths out of this dreadful disease. So you can tell how big the problem is. So there are various causes, or I would say risk factors that could lead a person into getting cancer. So I'll generally mention them since we are not really talking about one particular type of cancer. The most patients we see, they have a history of frequent smoking of cigarettes, too much drinking of alcohol, involve themselves in unprotected sex, particularly those from the reproductive system.
Meanwhile, Gemma Baruana, a cancer survivor, shares her inspiring journey, encouraging patients to remain optimistic, stressing that with early treatment and support, survival is possible.
Started with a little bit of cough and then sleepless nights and sweats at night, whereby those whatever I was going through, it didn't conclude that I had cancer. About 4 months, I lost about 10 kgs, which was very unusual. When I coughed blood one morning in April, I went to the hospital. It was very unfortunate that I had to do biopsy and CT scan, whereby they discovered the results came out that I had cancer. I thought I was dying with cancer at the age of 31, leaving my kid, but luckily I got it at a very early stage. It was still at stage 2. I agreed to start the treatment, which was one step for healing, because agreeing is one. Some people don't agree and end up getting to stage 4. I started with chemo. I lost so much weight. I had 16 rounds of chemo, interval of 2 weeks. So the first chemo, my hair went off. I lost more weight. It was really tough in a way. By you think the second chemo, are you going to make it to the second round? But I followed what doctor told me. I was able to finish my chemo, and after PET scan, the result shows that I was clear with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Until today, it's 8 years now. I unite with everyone with care, with love, that please go test yourself. And they found cancer in your body, please go for treatment, because I survived cancer. I'm sharing my story today, 2025. I survived cancer, Hodgkin's lymphoma. Luckily, I survived.
World Cancer Day, observed annually on February 4th, serves as a global call to action to raise awareness, improve treatment accessibility, and promote cancer prevention strategies. A delegation of 8 chief executive officers from Angola, representing key sectors such as agriculture, industry, technology, and construction, have arrived in the country, looking forward to exploring investment opportunities in the nation. Received by the Tanzania Investment Center, the visit aims to increase Angola's investments in Tanzania, following reports that out of 901 investment projects registered through TIC last year, only 1 comes from Angola. Caroline Maleo brings us the story.
Speaking to journalists in Dar es Salaam, TIC's Domestic Investment Promotion Manager Felix John emphasizes that the center has established a conducive environment to streamline investment processes. He notes that TIC has brought together all key stakeholders involved in facilitating investments in Tanzania.
We currently have Investors One-Stop Facilitation Center, which houses 15 government ministries, departments, and authorities under one roof, through which an investor with all requisite documents is in a position to finalize registration of an investment project and obtain TIC certificate of incentive within 48 hours. And our expectation is this year round, we are going to register more investment projects from Angola.
On the other hand, Ariclena Duarte Gomez, administrator of Tegmasu Company Limited, says Tanzania should anticipate a surge in Angolan investments this year, particularly in potato production.
We're here to create a bigger impact. We are several companies in different areas. We have health, we have infrastructure, construction, tourism, hospitality, the industrial sector, and much more. And we've seen that here in Tanzania, there's a lot of potential for the agriculture and the agro-industrial business.
Meanwhile, Richard Wamboga, Relations Manager at Tanzania Bank, affirmed the bank's readiness to support financial transactions and trade between Angola's investors and TIC.
Tanzania Bank is positioned here at the TIC Center for the aim of facilitating investors who are both local and international.
This initiative aligns with the Tanzania's government broader effort to attract foreign investments and strengthen trade relations with other countries. Caroline Maleo, TBC News.
In case you missed any of our stories, remember you can always go to our YouTube channel at TBC Online and watch anytime, anywhere across the globe. Before concluding the news bulletin, let's take a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. That was exchange rates. Up next is international news.
The M23 rebel forces in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, have announced that they will pause their advance across the east of the country for humanitarian reasons. The M23 rebel coalition announced late on Monday that it would implement a unilateral ceasefire starting on Tuesday. The group, that is said to be backed by thousands of troops from neighboring Rwanda, seized Goma, the main city in eastern DRC, last week, with the United Nations estimating 900 people were killed while hundreds of thousands have been displaced. Calls have been mounting for a humanitarian corridor to be established to allow people to escape the fighting. However, there was no immediate comment from the DRC government in Kinshasa on the announcement, and it is unclear if the country's military will respect the ceasefire. Tanzania will host a joint summit of two blocs, Southern Africa Development Community, SADC, and East African Community, EAC, on February 7 and 8, discussing the crisis caused by a war between M23 rebels and the Congolese army. Criminal gangs in Haiti have attacked a neighborhood near the capital, a town to most of the country's elites. At least 40 people have been killed, including pastors, teachers, and children. The United Nations has warned a criminal gang that control 80% of the Haitian capital, Port-au-Prince. And at least one person has died in floods in northeastern Australia, where emergency crews helped delivering aid and rescuing stranded people. Heavy rains have caused widespread destruction and swamped homes and businesses.
That was international news. Sports news up next. The primary school's hockey games coordinator Eliaza Mwakemwa says the coming of hockey referee courts will help to promote the game in Tanzania. Mwakemwa told TBC News in Dar es Salaam that rules changes of the hockey game has forced the referee to retrain to boost their understanding for the betterment of the game.
These seminars are very beneficial in increasing our tactical knowledge, improving our performance level, and even enhancing the quality of the game.
And that marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Chedi Mpanyanga. Have a lovely, lovely night.